Good afternoon, Matthew Lindsay here, and
Alecia.
With Precision Home Group, we come to you every Friday to talk to you about business and business as we do it together as a married couple. So we're excited to be here with you today. Today is rockets and race cars. Pretty exciting stuff, right, Alecia?
Yeah.
Rockets and race cars. So why are we talking rockets and race cars? Well, if you've been watching the news, if you have any idea what's going on, you have heard of none other than Elon Musk, right? And so what does Elon do, Alecia?
What doesn't Elon do, Matthew?
So he's the owner of SpaceX. He also has Tesla, Solar City, multiple companies, multi-billion-dollar companies, and his name is across several different industries, not just like one industry. You know, he's in technology, he's in aerospace, he's in the solar, he's everywhere. So we wanted to talk to you about that because he's recently had a huge thing happen.
Yeah, so we want to learn about how we can learn from his example and actually put an imprint on the world instead of just hanging out.
Yeah. So the recent thing that happened, he launched the Falcon Heavy rocket. Pretty much made history with what he was doing. So it's just a huge thing. They've been planning for years. He's been wanting to do this almost a decade now. So we just wanted to go over who is Elon Musk, where does he come from, and what are some things that led to his success. So Elon Musk started, where did he grow up, Alecia?
South Africa.
Yeah, so go ahead.
No, go ahead.
So he grew up in South Africa, different country, different world, different lifestyle altogether, and then he eventually immigrated to Canada.
Of all places.
So he moved to Canada, pretty much had nothing. He moved to Canada and he's like, I'm going to make it work. He had hopes, he had dreams. At this point, he was pretty much considered a genius. I mean, he had already, as a child, developed video game software and coding. He taught himself how to do these things, right? And he wanted to bring his expertise and knowledge, learn more, and then bring it to he wanted to bring them to the market. He wanted to develop ideas and build on them. So where do you think he went from there?
Outer space, of course. I mean, what else do you do? Yeah.
Well, before he went in outer space, he came to America. That's the land of opportunity, right? That's where you can make things happen. So he moved to America. After moving to America, he started his own company. After going to school, doing some things, learning some more coding, some software development type stuff, started his own company, became super successful. However, in the journey of his first company, he had to give so much of that company away to other outside investors to make that company work, that by the end of the day, when he ended up selling, he was at almost 7%. Yeah. So he was almost at 7% of that company, ended up selling that off, and then what did he do after that? He started another company, very successful company. We still hear about it today, very relevant in the world, little thing called PayPal. If you shopped on eBay, anywhere online, you know of PayPal. So he eventually ended up, selling that as well and starting 3 multi-billion-dollar companies, which brings us to today. And what are some of those companies, Alecia?
We have Tesla.
Yep.
We have SpaceX.
Yep.
And then Solar City. So
that's right.
And who knows what else he's got, in the works.
Yeah. So his life mission is just extraordinary. Alecia knows. Tell us about what is Elon Musk's idea? What is his plan? What is his mission? We were talking about this earlier this morning.
Yeah, absolutely. So every week we have these meetings. We look at our business and just kind of take an inventory of what the heck is happening and are we on track? So some weeks it's great, and then some weeks it's what can we be doing more? And so one thing that I've been really passionate about is making sure that our why is in check. We're not just looking at what do we need to do to get through next week. It's what do we do in the next 50 years to complete the goals that we want to get to and that we want to accomplish. And so one thing that you guys have probably heard if you watch YouTube or any of the TED Talks is creating your why.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, what is the why behind the things that you're doing? What are you getting up for in the morning? What are you going to try and accomplish with your life? And so he's created something so big that it's leaving an imprint on history, really. And so we're trying to do the same thing. And so how can we learn from his example and do something big with our lives? Because that's something that we want to do and create for everyone.
Yeah. So what is his why? We were talking about that as well.
I mean, I won't put words in his mouth, but I believe he is trying to better society by taking people to outer space and being able to like extend the boundaries of what's possible and having life on another planet.
Yeah. He wants to put a civilization on Mars, and that's a crazy idea to a lot of people, and especially a decade ago, even before that, when you would tell people, I want to put a civilization and populate Mars, people would laugh you out of the building, right? Well, that's actually what happened. Well, Elon Musk building SpaceX pretty much has made that a reality, and he's that much closer now with the Falcon Heavy launch. So that's why we wanted to talk to you today. We have somebody from another country, another world, another place, another economy.
He's an alien.
From America, and he's come here with nothing and has built a multi-billion-dollar empire, really, right? And so he had a mission. He had a why. He had, he knew where he wanted to go, and he would do anything it takes to make it happen. And so that's what we want to talk today about. Not just race cars and spaceships, even though those are really cool things and pretty interesting. But we want to talk about big whys, your mission, and your vision, where you want to go as a person, as an individual, with your business, with your life, with your career, and with your spouse.
Absolutely, because what Matt was kind of getting at was when these ideas came into his mind, they were probably impossible to a lot of people, but he made it happen. So when you decide that something is possible, then you just go and make it happen. You don't keep bringing up the barriers that are stopping you because you're not thinking like, oh, well, I can't buy that because X, Y, and Z, or I don't have the time for that because I have a family, family is great, family's good. You gotta do what you gotta do, but just allowing yourself the possibility to make things happen.
And then execute, taking the action necessary to make those happen. A lot of people have these big dreams, they have, they have a why, they have a mission, they have a vision, but they never execute on that. They never take the correct action or right amount of action. They get discouraged because they didn't hit a goal they set for themselves, and then at that point they quit, and that's when they fail, right? It's when you quit and give up on your goal, on your why, that's when you fail, not the act of not hitting a target. And so that's one thing that we want to stress and bring up, because if we don't hit a target, we don't just say, oh, that's it, throw the towel in, we're done, and walk away.
Right.
We are, okay, well, let's hit that target, in the next cycle of action, whether that's next week's targets, that we're going to hit those, or maybe the month goal, the year goal, whatever it is, we're going to set it, we're going to hit it. It may take a couple times, but we're going to make it happen.
And I want to get real for a second. Sometimes when you have big goals like this, people, even people you love, they don't support you because they don't think you can do it.
Yeah.
And so that's not, don't let that be the final word. You want to love them where they're at, but you also want to understand that they're just trying to keep you safe. So they think that if you, they almost justify in their mind, I want to keep you safe, so I don't want you to get hurt. So you shouldn't even try in the first place, which doesn't usually get you anywhere if you don't try in the first place.
Exactly. So, just some good points for you guys. Just have your big why. Define that, write it down, spend some time developing that idea, spend some time realizing what it is that you want to do, with your life, with your career, business, personal life, all these different places like we've talked about before, and continue on and create that why, create that mission and vision.
Yeah, so even if it's just one thing that you can do this week, make it happen, stop waiting, stop making excuses, and just do it. Because really what you're looking for is momentum, and you don't create momentum if you just keep waiting or thinking about it. You need to take action, and action creates more action. And even if you're moving in the wrong direction, you'll figure it out, and you'll turn around and make it happen.
Yeah. And thanks for bringing that up, because even if you are doing the wrong action, but you took action, a lot of the times you're going to be able to realize that, flip around, make the right action, and be further along than you would have if you just sat there and planned and thought about it and thought of all the reasons you couldn't do something and never executed.
Right. I mean, like there's balances for everything. You don't want to make stupid decisions, but when in doubt, you just need to do something. So.
Well, thank you for joining us today, guys. We really appreciate it. We love all of you. This has been Matthew Lindsay and
Alecia Lindsay
at Precision Home Group here in Anchorage. You can find us all over Facebook, Instagram. We have a new YouTube channel up, Matthew Lindsay. Go check that out. We'd love to hear from you. Matthew at Precision Home Group is my email.
And mine is Alecia at Precision Home Group. You can go to alecialindsay.com, precisionhomegroup.com, and we're also on Instagram.
So we will be back next week. I have live videos every day of the week. And Alecia will join us again next Friday as we talk about the Olympics.
Woohoo! All right. Thank you. Awesome. Thank you guys for joining. I'm going to read through these comments, see if anyone asked any questions.